Hi, I'm John Hornick. Welcome to lesson 28 of Chef's Apprentice, learning to cook like a pro, one small plate at a time. This lesson is duck and shrimp salad. Grilled duck and shrimp pair remarkably well with the fruit and avocado in this beautiful salad. You just learned to cook duck breast. This will be your introduction to shrimp. After peeling and deveining the shrimp, you will refresh them with kosher salt before grilling. The refreshing process, in which you will slather and gently scrub the shrimp with more salt than anyone could ever eat, may sound crazy, but after washing it off, the briny taste of the sea will be restored to the shrimp. Techniques today are refreshing and cooking shrimp, cooking duck breast, peeling and coring fruit, seeding avocados, making a julienne cut, washing greens, making a salad, plating, garnishing, and adjusting seasoning. So let's start cooking. Okay, let's talk about the mise en place for lesson 28, the duck and shrimp salad. Of course, we're going to need some shrimp, and we're going to use the 18 to 24 per pound size of shrimp. These have already been peeled and deveined, okay? We'll also need some duck. Now, this is one duck breast from the Duck Breast Master Recipe, which was lesson 27, the lesson right before this. Okay, so duck and shrimp, two crucial ingredients. Then we'll also need about 2 teaspoons of sesame oil. It could be any sesame oil. We'll also need about 1/4 teaspoon of hot chili oil. Now I'm just going to put in a few drops. I'm not even going to measure it. It can be any hot chili oil. We'll need the juice of 3 limes. Now this is the juice of 1 lime. We're going to be using this to make the shrimp. The juice of the other 2 limes is being used with the julienne pear and the julienne avocado. So I've already julienned them. To learn about a julienne cut, see my bonus lesson on knives and knife skills. But basically it's just a an 1/8 inch matchstick with the pear, it's a ripe pear, and about 1/4 inch matchstick with the avocado. Why 1/8 and 1/4? Well, the pear you can cut into 1/8 without them really falling apart. It's hard to do the avocado in 1/8 inch julienne without them falling apart. So we have the juice of one of the limes has, we've tossed the pear in that, and we've tossed the avocado in the juice of the other lime. That keeps them from browning prematurely, especially if you're not going to be putting this together right before you serve it. If you're putting it together any earlier in the day, then you should toss the pear and the avocado in some lime so that they will not brown. We'll also need some kosher salt for seasoning, but we're also going to need a lot more kosher salt for purposes of refreshing the shrimp. So I have a whole box of it here. We won't need that much though. We'll also need peppermill. We need some cherry tomatoes. I'm proud to say that these cherry tomatoes were grown in my own garden, and I've sliced each one of them into 3 pieces, so they're thinly sliced. The more surface area you have, the more flavor you have. Also some figs. Figs are in season right now, so I have cut the figs into, I think the description says in the quarters. But if they're big enough, you can cut them into slices that are maybe smaller than that, like 1/8, for instance. That's what I did. Also need some good balsamic vinegar, and we will need some greens. I'm using arugula today. This is arugula that I grew in my garden. It's already been washed, and that's all we're going to need for ingredients. Let's break now and come back, and we'll go over the equipment for lesson 28. All right, let's go over the equipment that we need for lesson 28. We're going to need a cutting board and a chef's knife. We're going to need a juicer to squeeze those limes, peeler to peel the pear. We're also going to need 3 little bowls to hold lemon juice. Remember, we need to keep it separate. We're going to use lime juice. We're going to use one of the limes for the shrimp. We're going to use the other 2 to toss with the avocado and the pear so they don't turn brown. We'll also need to have a skillet to grill the shrimp. We'll need to have some bowls. Once we toss the avocado and the pear in the lime juice, we'll need a bowl to do that, to toss them in the bowl. We'll also need to have a bowl to mix the shrimp up in. It could be the same bowl. We'll also need a bowl to mix the salad in at the end. Could be the same bowl if you have a big enough bowl. You don't have to have separate bowls. We'll also need to have a salad spinner to dry your greens after you've washed them. And then we'll need to have a colander, or either a sink colander like this that goes over the sink, or a separate colander like this. And we'll be using that to refresh the shrimp. So that's all. Oh, and I think I said paper towels, but if not, we need some paper towels too to dry the shrimp after they've been refreshed. That's all the equipment we need. We'll be back in a moment to start cooking. Well, the first thing on our prep list is to refresh the shrimp. Now, I'm going to be using this Morton's Kosher salt, and we're just going to do a very generous sprinkling. I mean, this is more salt than anybody could ever eat, right? But what we do is we gently rub and scrub the shrimp with that salt, right? And then we rinse it all off. And what that does is it just kind of brings that briny, oceany flavor back to the shrimp. Next step, dry the shrimp on paper towels. Next step is to toss the shrimp with the lime juice, sesame oil, and a few drops of the chili oil. And salt, kosher salt, and pepper. Okay, let's grill the shrimp. Put a little olive oil in the skillet. Give it a moment to start almost smoking. Okay, our oil is slightly smoking. It's spread out in the pan. We're going to add the shrimp. Now, these are not going to take very long. Depending on the size, they might only take, 30 seconds to a minute per side. Okay, we're going to remove them to a sizzle plate. Keep them warm. Okay, so we refreshed the shrimp. We tossed it in the sesame oil and the chili oil and the lime juice. We grilled the shrimp. Now it's time to toss the avocado, the pear slices, or pear julienne I should say, and the figs. Just want to mix them together nicely. Okay, it's time to plate up. Let's start with the arugula. We're just going to lay the leaves out in kind of a fan on each one of the plates. We have these beautiful big leaves, so let's make the use of their appearance. Then we're going to add some of the mixture of fig, avocado, and pear. Try to get an even distribution of the ingredients. Then we're going to add the shrimp. We're going to do 3 shrimp per plate. And then we'll add the duck. We'll add 3 slices per plate. Garnish with the cherry tomatoes. And a drizzle of balsamic vinegar. Hold your finger over the end of the bottle and just let out a little as you move the bottle back and forth. And there you have it. Okay, there we go. That is the conclusion of the duck and shrimp salad. You can see photos of the final dish on my Instagram, which is Chef's Apprentice, Cook Like a Pro. Next up is oyster corn pudding. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.